G'day, welcome to Southern Star Review. Well, we finally finished the dual battery system on my friend Gavin's Nissan Patrol. We started this a few months ago. We did the battery tray installation, we did the dual battery, and we did the Redarc SBI12 battery isolator. And we've just had an Anderson plug down the back up until now, and Gav's been running around with that, just seeing how it works and what he likes and what he doesn't like. So this weekend we finally finished off the install by putting in some USB sockets for him, a couple of SIG sockets and a 12 volt voltmeter, just so Gav could see what the status of the dual battery was. So alright, well what we'll do is I'll slide in some footage of us doing the battery tray and the stuff under the bonnet for you, and I'll take you through it all, so come on, let's go. Righto, so here we are over at the driver's side. This is the start battery. So obviously we need a link from our alternator across to our dual battery isolator. So we've got a 6 BNS cable here that runs from the positive, runs over to a thermal fuse. Okay, so you always want to fuse these cables as close as you can to the start battery or the power source. So we're just coming in here, other side of our thermal fuse then runs in some automotive conduit all the way over to the other side. So I'll just give you a quick look at how I've mounted that thermal fuse there. So as you can see, there's the thermal fuse, so that just comes off the positives, comes over to that fuse, then the other side of that fuse then runs around the vehicle and over to our smart battery isolator. So that was just a pre-existing hole that we used a bolt for. So that cable from the start battery, which is this one here, comes all the way over the other side here, and then just here we've got our smart battery isolator, and then it comes out of there, which we've just mounted to the factory piece of metal here. So there's a little bit of drilling and screwing, which we'll show you in the video. And we've got an Anderson plug disconnect here, so basically I can unplug this and that will disconnect the second battery from the start battery. So if we need to work on this, we can do whatever we need to do without having to worry about being connected to the start battery. And then here we go, we've got our Marshall, it's a Marshall Marine dual purpose deep cycle 105 amp hour battery. So, and from here we've just basically got a cable, that's this one here, that runs all the way down along the chassis down to the back of the vehicle. So that was pretty straightforward getting that in, easy enough. We had to run across over the other side, so we ran this in 6 BNS, so we'd have as little voltage drop as possible by the time we get to the back. And from what we've seen, we're losing about 100 milliamps from this battery through to the back of the vehicle where the connections are, so that's not too bad at all for a dual battery system. So always run as thick a cable as you possibly can for that sort of stuff. Righto, let's go down the back and have a look and see what the finished product looks like. Here we are down the back of the Patrol. So Gav sleeps in his vehicle, so we needed to have some power down here for him to run his different devices. So we've got his little 12 volt fan up here that keeps him cool on these hot Queensland nights. And over here we've got our little multi-socket, which we installed yesterday. So we've got a 12 volt voltmeter, so he really needed this so he could see what the status of his battery was. Just make sure it doesn't run down too low and damage anything. And then we've got a couple of SIG sockets. We may replace those guys with, you know, more USBs or something else. But you know, there's two of those there anyway, so you can run different things off them. Down here we've got two 5 volt USB sockets, and one's a 1 amp and one's a 2.5 amp or 2.1 amp. So that'll be for things like phones and GoPros and anything else that runs off USB. So over here we've got our Anderson plug, that's to run the fridge. So that was quite easy really. So we brought the one cable down, put a splitter inside the panel here, and then one of those goes to here, which is his Anderson plug. That's all mounted to the metal inside of the car, and this just pops out so you can access all of that. But the beauty of it is, if he has any problems, if anything's not working properly, we've done it so that we can basically just pop this little panel straight out, and as you can see, as you can see here, he can get to all his connections in behind there, so if anything comes loose from full driving on the tracks, getting knocked around or whatever, you can easily get to everything. Or you can pop this little air vent out here as well and get to everything that's in behind there as well. So there's our little splitter for the Anderson plug. So pretty happy with how all that turned out. Like it's come up quite nice, it looks good, it's easy to use, it's easy to maintain, and I think he's going to enjoy having that power down the back here to especially run his fan. That'll keep him nice and cool. And we may look at swapping out some of these maybe for extra USBs if he finds he needs it, but for now it's all good. So there we go, another job complete, another project finished. And this is the finished product with the fridge in there running away happily. So I'm sure he's going to appreciate that. And I think once you've had a dual battery system with a fridge, it's obvious that you'll never go back to an esky with ice. It's just way too frustrating. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see what Gav thinks of it over the coming months and see how it goes. I'd like to say special thanks to my friends the Cicadas that decided to provide the soundtrack to this video. And also Harley, the runaway dog, that decided to come pay us a visit as well for about half an hour. So he's back with his owner now, so happy days, everyone's good. Thanks guys. If you liked the video, please smash that like button, hit subscribe, it really helps out the channel. And we really look forward to seeing you on the next one. Cheers.